It is another great day. I'm coming at you. This is Gavin Mehl, and this is for Jeff by request. One of my book lists, some of the books that I read or recommend. And this one is one you probably have never heard of, you guys, but I'm going to read you just a brief story tell you a story about Lloyd Collier. Read some of it as well. The book is called The Master Key to Riches by Napoleon Hill. It was Napoleon Hill's one of his, if not his final book that he wrote in 1965, where he's trying to get the message across to the readers of the Andrew Carnegie success formula that he formulated in the Law of Success. The original Law of Success, 1925 manuscripts, was the most pure version of it, other than Think Your Way to Wealth, okay? But this is the story of Lloyd Collier and his experience of the Andrew Carnegie secret. Lloyd was born on a farm near Wattville, North Carolina. His family whose financial circumstances limited his chances of getting a formal education, forced him at an early age to make his own way. While he was still a teenager, he was stricken by being paralyzed from his body from the waist down, a condition which justified him sitting on the corner with a pack of pencils and a tin cup. Some businessmen in Whiteville, North Carolina, raised a small fund and sent Lloyd to school, where he learned watch repair. On his return, he set up a workbench in the back of a small retail store in a free rent space and began plying his trade as a watchmaker. Despite his affliction, he never lost his self-confidence nor his cheerful disposition, two traits of personality that soon gained him friends in all the work that he did. Lloyd came under the influence of this book called Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill's 1937 all-time bestseller of all personal development books of all time, and number 20 best-selling book of all time. It made such a profound impression on him that he went to work in earnest in applying the famous Andrew Carnegie success formula described in the book. His first step was that of writing out his definite major purpose. He committed this purpose to memory, and he repeated it many times daily. Substantially, it provided for him his own finest jewelry store in Wattville, North Carolina, to marry the prettiest girl in the city, and to own the finest home, and rear and educate a happy family of children. Quite a tall order for a man without the use of his legs, starting from scratch and without operating capital, but he made it. He attained every objective set out in his definite major purpose. Moreover, he did it while he was still young enough to have a long road ahead of him and enjoy all of his well-earned blessings. He gets around in a wheelchair, and he drives his own specially built car, getting it out without help. His jewelry store is managed by trusted employees, with his wife in charge of the books, the prettiest girl in the city. If you visit his store, greet you enthusiastically from his wheelchair as you entered. And you would have a definite feeling that you were in the presence of a man whose physical affliction was by no means a handicap. Lloyd Collier has adopted a habit which men with lesser physical affliction than his might as well copy. Each day he expresses a prayer of gratitude for the blessings he enjoys despite his physical handicap, and each day he lives so and relates himself to his fellow man that he does not seek any pity. Instead, he seeks an opportunity to share some of his blessings with those who are more unfortunate than he is. Only by sharing them may he be enriched and multiplied in his own blessings. In Lloyd Collier, we recognize that the major difference between a man on a street corner with a cup and a bunch of pencils and a man who has made himself independent financially and has found peace of mind. The difference is mainly one of mental attitude. Lloyd discovered PMA, positive mental attitude, and through it, he found his way to everything he sought. The Master Key to Riches. Does the title say enough? It's a very simple read. I got it on Amazon. They were pretty much giving them away. Just about. I have a number of copies of these. These are a dream. Napoleon Hill was on a mission. He was a man on a mission of mercy to get this out there to the world from Andrew Carnegie. And that's the secret right there. I just explained it to you in that entire little reading. That's all it is. A simple story of a man in a wheelchair as opposed to going around with a tin cup and pencils and begging on the corner. He wrote down his definite chief aim on a card, his definite purpose in life of marrying the prettiest girl in the city, of getting his own jewelry store as a watch repairman, having the finest house, and raising a family of happy children. He wrote that down and read it daily until he memorized it. It was part of his DNA. And even though he was in a wheelchair, man, he had this great enthusiasm and happiness and joy about him because he knew where he was going. And he knew that he was going to get there because he drilled it into himself so many times. Nothing was going to stop him. You can oftentimes see a man who's on a purpose. A man who's going after a goal with such vigor and vengeance. And you could just get out of his way because you know nothing's going to stop him. Like Mike Tyson was when he was a young fighter. You knew nothing was going to stop that guy. Nobody could beat him. There was no chance. He would get in the ring in the Olympics. He would get in heavyweights. It didn't matter. 18, 19 years old. Didn't matter. He was so determined. He was skilled, but there was probably more skilled fighters than him. But he was on an absolute mission of mercy. No matter what, he was going to be the best fighter in the world. And he was. Mike Tyson was incredible. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Remember it on Nintendo? So, same story about the same idea about this guy, Lloyd Collier from North Carolina in a wheelchair. Have you ever known anyone like that? Do you have any stories that you could share about someone like that you knew in person? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. This is Gavin Mehl. That one's for you, Jeff. One of the many books, but keep Napoleon Hill close to you, in your mind, and the Andrew Carnegie success principles, and you will realize your definite purpose in life. You will realize happiness. You will realize complete financial freedom, independence, happiness, joy, health, aesthetics, fitness, beauty, whatever you want in life. This is Gavin Mehl. Be sure to subscribe down below. Coming at you. Another day in paradise. Thank you, guys.